Welcome to the political map of Myrland. This is a quickly put together video to show a map of all the major alliances currently in the game prior to territory control, insofar as any one alliance is capable of controlling an area given the lack of in-game mechanics to facilitate this. Of course, that will completely change today in, just less than an hour. So first of all, an explanation of the different terms. We have RPK, which stands for random player killing, and that can be fully RPK, which means you see it equals you kill it, situational RPK, or simply people who are opportunistic. Then opposite that, we have ARPK, which means anti-random player killing. Now, given the lack of flagging mechanics, it's very hard to be fully ARPK because it's so hard to police and there are lots of grey areas. So, for example, most PKs will have untagged alts, and this makes guilds very suspicious of anyone who doesn't have a guild tag. Some areas, like sewers or Gaul Kor in the northeast, are more of a free-for-all, even for ARPK guilds, because the assumption is that no one in an area like that is innocent. What we have, so most ARPK guilds are actually just ARPK within their own territory, but they don't police their own members outside it, at least in terms of RPK. And then we have also, that's quite common, people who say that they're neither ARPK nor RPK, but potentially a mix of both. So now for the alliances. Because there isn't a proper alliance mechanic in the game, there are two different kinds of alliances. First of all, there are alliances like the Coalition or the Enclave, where guilds group up to create a greater entity. They give themselves a name, and they have a Discord channel devoted to that alliance and everything. Then we have guilds who simply ally with each other on a more individual basis. And the alliances on the map are mostly the former kind, but are a mixture of both. Before I go on, thank you to everyone who helped me with working out the guilds, alliances and locations on this map. I can't promise it's completely accurate. The lack of in-game alliance tags means I have to learn everything either by playing the game or via word of mouth. There were some guilds I wasn't able to get in touch with or didn't have contacts for, so if the information on your alliance is incorrect or missing, please reach out to me on Discord and I will make corrections. So let's start with my alliance, the Rising Sun, of which my guild Unbroken is a founding member. We are one of the longest running ARPK alliances in the game, and we have a strong presence in the east. However, I haven't included this on the map as we don't have a castle. Next we have the Enclave, who cover Moki, the southern steppe and the eastern steppe. They own both castles in this area, and they're ARPK within their territory. So if you are a new player, Moki is one of the few very good places to start. That's not to say there's no RPK guilds there, but the presence of the Enclave means that it is relatively safe compared to many other parts of the map. Okay. As you'll see later on in the video, there are lots of places that are not good to go to after you first come from Haven. So let's go south, and here we have the jungle, presided over by the kingdom. Although you wouldn't start here, and Jungle Camp doesn't have a guard zone, the jungle is actually quite new player friendly because the satyrs are good for clade and there's lots of other really good resources down here. You do still need to take precautions, particularly if you go near the beach or the satyr dungeon, but in my experience the kingdom won't PK you unless they particularly dislike your guild tag. And the biggest risk for a new player is completely getting lost. Next, moving west, we have the Canteri Cartel. So previously an RPK alliance, they have in fact just dissolved, and it remains to be seen whether the remnants of the alliance will be able to hold that territory or whether someone else will move in. Moving to the northeast, we have the Covenant, a mix of ARPK and RPK guilds. So Bhakti is a PvP hotspot, and therefore not a recommended place for you to start if you are new. It has easy access to quite a few resources and is one of the major routes to the jungle through Cruel Passage, so named because it's a choke point where PKs like to hang out. The Covenant also claims Spider Valley, but more on that when we come to the next alliance. Moving northwest, we have Meduli, where one of the longest running and biggest alliances is situated, the Coalition. So Meduli is a major trade hub, and this is also a place where you can start out in relative safety. The core territory is designated ARPK, but that kind of ARPK versus RPK is not enforced outside it. So some of the member guilds have territories where they are neither fully RPK nor RPK, and this is why you see the coalition in two different colours. So we have guilds in the Sunken Isles, the Northern Steppe, and Spider Valley. So they claim that too. So time will tell whether Spider Valley will remain within the coalition or become part of Covenant territory, or whether it will be split between them. Next, we have the North and the Northeast. Most of the North is RPK, and I wouldn't recommend starting in any of these areas. Black Lotus have the 3 castles surrounding the Central Steppe, and by the way, I do think that's a really classy name for an RPK alliance. I have no idea if you are actually classy people, but it's a great name to live up to. In Gaul Kor, we have the highly contested region, because this is the Tephra crater, which is the main source of high-end materials, or at least some high-end materials. And the alliance currently claiming this region is formed from Levia, Blackout, and Nightmare, and you guys are badly in need of an alliance name. So Levia is Latin for light, and the other names are darkness themed. So you've got this dark and light theme going already, so you should really call yourselves, I don't know, Night Star or something like that. You're welcome, by the way. Now we do have another alliance with a strong presence in Gaul Kor, and that of course is Kanemata, who are allied with Empire. I haven't drawn territory borders for them, mostly because I don't know anyone in that alliance, and the Kanemata guy didn't accept my friend's invite on Discord. It's okay, I'm not offended. Last of all, moving west again, we have Odinseed's alliance, who also appear to be of the opinion that they don't need a name. I think they are actually a collection of allied guilds as opposed to an actual alliance, although please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. And I do think they have more guilds allied with them than I've put here. And the main takeaway for you, if you are a new player, is don't start in Faburnum because it's a PvP hot zone. So, that includes the political overview. Once again, if I did get anything wrong or left you out, or you think you should have been included, I will publish a correction. There is a link to the map in the description where you can see a better resolution version, and thank you for watching.